4 Mech Brigade link-ups from Afghanistan. Garrison FM.
Army News, today's music. This is Garrison FM. I'm Chris Kay, linking up with Afghanistan, and I'm speaking to Lance Sergeant Kevin Gilroy of the Scots Guards. Hello.
Hello.
First of all, how is the tour going for you?
Not bad. Been out here 4 months already, got another 2.5 months to go. So hopefully it flies by.
So tell me about your job and your role there in theatre.
I'm warrior commander out here, so that means we're part of the armoured infantry company out here in the Warriors. We basically can go anywhere in Helmand province where other vehicles can't get to. So if anyone ever needs a hand, then we can always get to where they are.
And what is the workload like at the moment? Is it busy, or is it kind of scaling back like I'm hearing from so many other units?
When we first got out here in August, it was quite every day you were on the go constantly. But as it's progressed through the tour, it's quieted down quite a bit as the handover to the NSF is more them doing things than us doing it, and we just take a back foot, let them crack on, but if they need help, then obviously we step in and give them a hand. So
what have been some of the major challenges you've faced over the last 4 months then?
The closing down of checkpoints and handing over of checkpoints to the NSF. So, as I said, we're now starting to take a backseat on things and letting them progress through taking over different AOs in Helmand province.
So it must be quite satisfying to see that progression.
Yeah, it is. I was out there on Hurricane 12, where it was a completely different tour. So you can see how much it's changed from there to how it is now. Whereas before it was us doing mainly everything, not working that much with them, to them now taking the lead in it, and us now taking the backseat. So it's really like a complete change around. So
do you have much contact with the Afghan security forces and the locals? And if so, what is kind of the reaction and relationship like?
Yeah, we go quite a bit and speak to the locals. We always ask them questions whether or not they think we're doing a good job, whether the NSF's doing a good job, and that they always seem that they're happy to see us moving around their villages and their area. It gives them a bit of reassurance that we're there to help.
And what's the weather like there at the moment? Is it now getting really cold in the evenings?
The weather was sunny until last night, where it absolutely chucked it down. So now everything's wet and it is starting to get cold.
Does the wet weather present its own set of challenges?
Not really to myself and the rest of my platoon, because, like I said, we're the armoured infantry, so we can still cross the majority of terrains. Doesn't matter how boggy it is. The Warriors still manage to get across it. So
obviously Christmas is coming up, and I presume you've got family and loved ones back in the UK. Is there a message that you would like to share with them?
I'm quite fortunate and I will be back for that time, but if I'm late, then I'd like to say to my wife Lucy and my son Jack, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and hopefully I'll see them soon. Well,
best of luck with the rest of the tour, and thank you very much for speaking to me today.
Alright, cheers.
Army News, today's music. This is Garrison FM. I'm Chris Kay, linking up with Afghanistan, and I'm speaking to Corporal Alex Down from 3 PWRR, attached to the Scots Guards. Alex, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. So, how is the tour going?
The tour's going really well at the moment. The weather's dropping dramatically. It's getting a lot colder, and everyone's getting ready for the winter. So
you're actually a TA soldier attached to the Scots Guards. Tell me about the training and lead up to deployment then.
For myself and all the other TA guys out here, we joined the Scots Guards on FTX, their final training exercise. We've kind of just thrown in at the deep end. We met the battalion actually on exercise. So yeah, we kind of hit the ground running with that.
And then when you got to theatre, what have you been doing in your time since arriving?
As soon as we got here, we took over one of the checkpoints, Checkpoint Langer, just north of Ulet. We only spent roughly about just over a month there before it was eventually closed down, and we moved back into Ulet to take over control of VP and VA checks up and down the 611.
And what about your main job and role there? What is it that you do specifically?
Now that we've come back into Ulet, we conduct VP and VA checks up and down the 611, just ensuring the security of the road. The insurgents can't lay IEDs because they know that we go out and check it almost on a daily occurrence. Not only that, we've also conducted patrols into villages and just having a chat with the locals, seeing how they feel about our presence there on the ground, how they think the ANCOP are doing. And only recently as well, we've had playing a massive part with the ANCOP. Now we won't go out on patrol unless we've got ANCOP with us, just for us taking the back step and them stepping up a notch to take over full control of the 611.
So what's the reaction been like from locals, and how is your relationship with them?
The locals out here, they've been really good. They're very pleased with the way that we've been conducting ourselves since we've got here. They're pleased with ISAF as a whole. They're pleased with the ANCOP and what they're doing, and how they're showing their presence out on the ground. So
have you actually deployed before?
Yeah, I have.
How are you finding it this time round, and how does it compare to other tours?
It is completely different. Whereas before, the ISAF were doing all the work pretty much, and the ANCOP had to step back from what we were doing. But now, obviously, as we've managed to gain control of Helmand Province itself, and given the opportunity for the ANCOP now and the ANA and the whole of the ANSF to step in and take control of what is actually their country and their province.
Well, listen, thank you very much for speaking to me today. Have you got a message for friends and family back home, just finally?
Yeah, I do. I'd just like to wish my whole family a very happy Christmas.
That's great. Thank you very much for speaking to me today. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
4 Mech Brigade link-ups from Afghanistan. Garrison FM.